Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of MSP101, where we bring you anything and everything MSP related. So today, once again, we have Zool with us, and Zool is from FatNinjas. He's the director there. And Zool has been in one of our earlier episodes, right?
Yes.
How are you doing, Zool?
Fine, I'm fine. I'm great, in fact.
Glad to be back?
Definitely.
I remember, Zool, the first time when we met, you spoke about MSPs. You introduced MSP to us, right? Yep. And I think you shared about the MSP, the ad hoc guys, and also internal IT team.
Yes.
Right? But today we want to talk about service level agreement, because in the earlier episodes with someone else, we spoke about having someone on site, which is the local IT team, and they're able to deliver services a bit faster. And I think in companies, they always think that way, right? It's better to have someone on ground so that they can respond immediately. However, in the context of MSP, I have to send a ticket, and the ticket will go through review and whatnot, and then they respond. So we call this service level agreement, right? There are a lot of voices coming in and giving feedback saying that they are not used to the whole concept of waiting for the services to be delivered. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so when we are talking about SLA, service level agreement, one thing that is pop up to my mind is basically managing the expectations.
Okay.
When you have an IT guy in-house, the expectation is you're going to get fast response like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you have an outsourced guy, so the normal expectation is they will say it's going to be slow because it's outsiders.
That's right.
So that is where MSP is very important, because we are going to set the SLA, service level agreement, agreed between two parties from MSP provider and also the customers over here. So we will discuss with the customers what is their service level that they wanted from us. So over here, I would say managing the expectations between the provider and the customers and even the employees of the company to get the services from us is very, very important.
So I would also think or assume there will be different tiering of agreement, different levels. Like some may require faster response, some may not require, as like, hey, I'm on the phone now, reply me, right? So how does that actually work in your environment?
The generic or general SLA, I think most of the MSP will do almost similar. They will have a different tiers of SLA. The normal request from the users or the notification from the system, if something goes wrong in your environment, it will go to a normal or moderate level of SLA, which is probably 4 hours or 5 hours of response. Right? If there is a critical issues which involve the whole company cannot works or the whole department cannot works, definitely there's going to be a P1. Priority number one for all the MSP provider. All right? How we handle it, basically, definitely every MSP provider need to set a channel for all the customers how they wanted to escalate for P1 issues. The P1 issue definitely is faster. Definitely it's more brutal. I would say more brutal in terms of supporting. That means it's much more instant. I would not say now you call, now also you get the response, but it's almost faster than
prioritized.
Yes, it's being prioritized over here.
That's good. And I would like to think that in order to do that, the MSP will also need to at least have certain understanding of the environment of the organization. So what happens if there's turnover happening in the MSP? How do you manage that? Because when there's turnover happening, you have new staff coming in, and then they have to understand the environment. So they may not achieve the SLA that you have agreed. Does that happen? And how do you fix things?
I think this happens not only for MSP or IT provider, but it's also happen in IT in-house.
That's right.
When people leave, they get a new IT guys come in, then they need to retrain and inform. But for us MSP, we try to make the process a lot simpler for our IT staff. But where is the hard work happens is basically the onboarding the new customers. When we onboard a new customers, they need to go through the onboarding processes. What is inside these onboarding processes is basically our engineers, our technicians need to go in depth on all the informations about IT of your company. Example, like your username and password for servers, for firewall, for switches, how is the network diagram, how it connects. All of this will be documented. That is the advantage of having MSP. So MSP need to document all the IT stuff in one places. And of course, the storage need to be controlled. It cannot be accessed from outside or from outsiders.
Definitely.
All right. So if the employee of MSP is the one that resigned, there is user access control that we need to change. So they cannot access anymore already towards that information. Of course, during the day-to-day supports also to the customers, they will have different levels following their seniority and their scope of works. So if they are very juniors and very beginners, maybe they can access certain simple things only. So if they are much more seniors, they have much more full controls or more informations about the customer environment. So if they left us also, the new guys that are coming in, they will have all the username, password, the network diagram, the information of the customers.
Right. So it's actually quite seamless.
Yes,
it's being documented. The new guys get onboarded. They know what's happening.
It's much more easier for them. The new IT guys to come in, then they will have more visibility.
That's right.
Instead of zero.
That's right.
That is what we wanted to avoid. Get a new IT support with zero. That is what we wanted to avoid. So they will have something to start with. They have username, passwords. They have network diagrams. So more or less, they will know how to support the new customers.
Well, thanks for sharing. And I hope that answers your questions on service level agreement. It's not true that hiring an MSP means that you always have to wait for several hours in order to get services, but it's always a conversation that you should have with your MSPs, in terms of priority and the time frame to provide you the services. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. If you like what you're hearing, why don't you support us by liking and following us, and we will hope to churn out more contents for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. How do we actually engage an MSP?
They've got a proper ticketing system. Are they a remote-first organization? I suppose a trade would be to see whether they can really cover you for all of your bases. You want people to really focus on their job and do what they do best.